Welcome to Deep Thought. Your neighborhood is key for you mentally. Now, I had talked, I think I talked on another channel about the environment. You know what? Let me just say something. Y'all know how I go on tangents on this channel, stream of consciousness. Some of the stuff is starting to blend together. I was trying to keep stuff separate, but I'm a holistic person. So if I'm talking about money, still, even though I say don't trick on women or anything, it still has a basis with dealing with women because you got to pay for the gym. So it's like, or when I'm talking about deep thought or relationships, how you deal in relationships can deal with how you think. So, yeah, it's all connected. But I think I talked on my money channel about using money to create an environment. And I was talking about the environment of where you live, like your home. Buying the right things and, buying stuff to keep peace. Your neighborhood is key for you mentally as well. Very key. Very key. I remember my grandmother when she retired from the government and she was about to move. And this is about when I was young and she was going to take custody of me. She moved. She had this house and it would have been paid for and anything. She ended up renting it out, but she moved because she said she's about to retire. And her specific thing was she didn't want to have to live next to a couple of neighbors. She was cool with them, but, she was cool with them when she could move around. She could go to work and everything. She didn't have to deal with them that much. She said she couldn't deal with them on a daily basis. So she moved. She actually got another house and everything. And the neighborhood that she moved to was very peaceful, like some really lifelong friends and everything. Well, on her end, it was a little interesting for me. It was me and this other guy, we got to be the best of friends, and we were taking on everybody else. It took us a year to pacify the neighborhood. Yeah, I was more of a bad boy than people realize. But anyway, your neighborhood and where you live is key because that can affect your mentality as well. Think about if you're living in a neighborhood and, it's real quiet. Everybody keep their lawns up. It's real quiet. Neighbors don't play loud music, anything like that. People are friendly, helpful. They basically do keep their places clean. Everything is good. You feeling good. You can walk out. Yes, you nowadays you need to lock your door, but you could actually get away with not locking your door. Or you can get away with forgetting that you didn't lock your car. In fact, you could drop your keys outside your car and a neighbor will come up and hand you the keys and say, hey, you lost this. People will look out for you. People friendly and stuff. Y'all might even have like little block parties or, y'all do stuff together. Kids can play with each other. Real peaceful. Right, but then you have another neighborhood, it's loud. You got little kids running around 10 o'clock at night. They smoking. It might be a tenement or something. They got cigarette butts all over the place, loud music, antisocial people. You got to stay on guard. All of that affects your mindset. All of that affects your mindset. Let me bring money into it. That's the one thing you want to make money for. For the fellas, not to impress women, but to have a good place to live. That's what people need to work for. That neighborhood is everything. Because if you live in the wrong place and say you live in a bad neighborhood, it's rough. You got to pay attention to everything. People looking at you. Shoot. If you want to get a new TV, you got to move that thing in the dark of night. Like, you got to come in like a government plan or something. Shoot, you can't just be on some, you can't be on just some, we ain't gonna, just say, let me show everybody what I got. Now, the better neighborhoods you might can, because you probably be inviting some of them over to watch the game. But you live in that poor place, you got to move that thing in the middle of the night. And even then, there's no guarantee because, people are up. It might have to be in real early in the morning when the people who are up the night before are asleep. But whatever the case, you got to be careful. You can't give in too much indication. But if you're in that environment, if you're in a bad environment, how you going to rest? How you going to think? You on guard. Your adrenaline is up. Shoot, you got that fight or flight thing going, which neither one is good because if you had that flight thing going, it will, fear can actually lower your IQ. You can't think straight. And then if you got that fight thing going, shoot, you still can't think straight. You're just thinking about battle. No, it's very key. It's about how you think. It's about how you think. You want to be in a peaceful environment. You know, I mean, I've heard stories of like some kids who might have grown up in a rough environment, but then get moved for whatever reason, or spend a summer or some time with a relative who lives in a better environment. You know, some elders used to call it sending their kids down south. You know, more rural environment, and I've heard several stories about that because it changes their mindset. Indeed, you take a lot of these bad kids out here. You take them out of their environment, put them someplace else, and you'll see changes overnight. But what it is, it's the mindset, the mentality. You know, you have to think about what's your overall environment. What stores are you going to? What are you walking around? It makes a big difference if you're walking through some streets and there's trash all over the place as opposed to someplace where it's pristine. You just feel the energy. The energy just feels different. You know, so it's key. You know, I mean, I could talk about thinking, but if you in a negative environment, it's hard to think. It's hard to think, period. You know, on my Money Matters channel, you know, I talked about the home, and yeah, that can be an oasis, but then you still got to step outside. You still got to walk through the street. You still got to go to the stores there. You know, if you're a woman, shoot, you still gonna have like random guys. Like a friend of mine, she got a nice thick body, shapely body. She was telling me a guy just blatantly said, "You got a fat ass." But what kind of woman wants to? No woman. If a woman hearing that 5 times a day, how peaceful is she gonna be? Because you know somebody is gonna be like extra aggressive or something. Or if you're a man, you know, you walking through, shoot, you gotta have a murder walk or something. How's that peaceful? Because you gotta give a vibe that don't mess with you, but that's not peaceful. That's putting stress on you. You know? So it's key, like wherever you live is very key to your mindset. Very, very key to your mindset, your mentality. And so you want to do what you can to get into a good environment. This is very key. You don't want to play around with this, all right? So I want y'all to really think about what I'm saying. So anyway, that's all I got for now. I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.